Okay, I'm back. So, little background on what's been going on. Two things happened. This summer, when I set up birds to breed, I started losing hens, and I realized I had avian chlamydia. And you have to treat that with 6 weeks of doxycycline. So, I broke them all up, set them out, treated them, and I gave viable eggs to my fosters. Thinking if anybody can raise them with this sickness, my fosters can. So I moved 12 viable eggs, and I got 10 chicks, and 4 of them died, and I ended up with 6 chicks because the sickness kills them. So this is summer babies. There is my blue male and my cobalt male up there. Those are the daddies. And these are all the little babies that I got. They are primarily, they're out of only these 2 nests, and they are, let me see, they're the oldest 3, or no, this one right here is out of Dorothy and Giphion. The opaline up there and her brother over there are out of the gray cock, Cole, and his girl, whose name I forgot, and this one down here and this little spangle right here are out of Razzle, the very last pair I set up, Razzle and that purple hen. So they're all pretty nice babies. I'm glad I got them. I started treating them for the sickness. See, you can't give doxycycline to little teeny tiny pink babies because it messes with their calcium cycle and their bones will come out all wrong. So, not to mention just poisoning them in general. So I waited until they were 3 weeks old before I started treating them. And it was at a point where I was going to lose everybody if I didn't start. So what the heck, at least give it a try. So I did that, and I salvaged these. There were 6 left then. 1 more died, and I salvaged these 5 right here. So these guys are done. They're like 7 weeks old, but they're still in here because they're finishing their medication because it's a 6-week cycle. So they have, I think, another week to go. And they're all looking pretty good, and they will launch soon. These guys down here are all coal birds. They're just going to the pet shop in Portland. This is the rest of my fosters. Oh, so then the other thing that happened was I've been having trouble with my asthma, and I had a doctor say, hey, maybe you have bird fancier's disease, which is, the formal name for it is hypersensitivity pneumonitis. And if you've got it, the only cure is to get rid of all your birds. So it's a 2-part test. One is the blood test to see if your blood reacts with antibodies to birds, and my blood does, which means my body has registered that there is too much dander in my world. So then the second part of it is to look at your lungs. They did a CAT scan of my lungs, because what happens with hypersensitivity pneumonitis is your lungs basically seize up and it messes up your heart. So this is not a mild diagnosis. So happy news is my lungs are perfectly clear, so that I do not have hypersensitivity pneumonisis. However, the fact that dander is on my immune system's radar means that I am a candidate. So I have to change the way I keep these birds. So the first thing, which was something I've been thinking about anyway, is I have too many damn birds. So at my highest point, I had 160 birds in this garage, and I am down to, when I sell those guys over there tomorrow, and I'm also letting go of half of my fosters, I will be down to about 90 birds from 160. I also, if you'll see, I used to have stacks of 4 here for breeding cages. I'm down to 3 stacks of 5. So I had 20 cages hanging up here. Now I have 15. And for the most part, I'm planning on just using the 10 up here when I breed, because the less there is, the easier it is for me to control the dander. The cages on the bottom are for holding the new guys. These are new guys. And I will be using 3 of them this time because I didn't get to breed a bunch of birds in the summer that I wanted to breed. So I'm going to give them another try. But they're also holding cages and carrying cages. So as you can see, my 10 breeding cages up here are all set up. I have to put food bowls on them. I'm going to start populating them this afternoon. Yippee! So I just went to the All-American, the American Budgie Association's All-American, and I did manage to place on the bench. Out of 72 birds, I got a 5th place, which is not too bad. But when looking at the champion level birds, I realized something that I hadn't realized before. My birds are big compared to most people. I have good size. I need more feather, but these are bigger birds, definitely on the large size. People comment on it all the time, but they're not big enough. The birds on the top bench were monsters. So I am not done working on size. I'm also far from done working on feather. So those 6 babies that I just showed you in that little holding cage, I picked up from 2 of the top breeders, on one guy from Canada and another guy in Washington. And both of them have really good feather on their birds. So I'm going to be folding them in next spring to breed. But I am not done on the size thing. So I was kind of thinking I was switching gears because I had size and now to go feather, but no, I'm still working on both. So these are my adult males. Most of these guys just came back from the show. And over here I have my babies and a bunch of one-and-done breeders. I'm going to breed that golden face guy right there. I have to breed my recessive pied male again because I got spangles out of him last time. Let's see, that gray wing right there is going to get bred. Charlie's going to get bred because although he filled every egg last time, his hen died on the nest because she was sick. So I have some one and dones in here, and I'm going to breed Steel again. So, I don't know if you can tell. Let me back off a little bit. I have a lot less birds than I used to. There's nobody sitting up here. I have about 20 birds in each flight instead of 30, and I'm planning on getting it down to 15. So I'm going to sit everybody up to breed, and then I'm going to do some more culling and refill that cage back there of birds that go to the pet store. So that's the plan. And I am breeding for size. So like Kenny Loggins was my show winner. He stayed on the bench. That's him over there. Even though he never once put his blow up, the whole time he was sitting on the bench, he stayed on the bench. And I bred him to Astor last time, and I got a giant baby. He's so big that I keep confusing him for my show team, and he's only 5 months old. This is him right here. This little guy. No, it's him. I don't know. I have 2 big ones. This one I think is Bubba Jr.'s with the recessive pied. This one is Kenny Loggins' baby. And he's just a monster. And that's what I need. So Kenny Loggins and Astor are going to stay a bonded couple for sure. I'm at a point now where Steel down here is one of my tallest birds. He's been infertile forever, but I keep wondering if it's because I set him up with a sick hen, because I set him up twice with the same hen and then she died. So maybe she was the reason they didn't breed. So he's going to get one more time, but since I'm cutting down birds, if he can't breed, he has to go. He can't stay on my show team, even though he's beautiful. So anyway, a lot of plans, a lot of variety is going to get bred this time, but less birds in general. So this guy up here I hung on to because he split to recessive pied, and he's completely unrelated to any of my recessive pied lines. And I am going to breed him to another split and see if I can't get some recessive pied babies out of him. So, I have a lot of setting up to do, a lot of box cleaning to do, but we are starting fall breeding. Okay.